Again, a very good morning and welcome back to Balla Ball. I'm sorry I wouldn't be able to smile as much as I do on my other videos because today I want to discuss some things that are very serious. These are some serious things and these are very important things that I feel we as Indian cricket fans and stakeholders, probably the largest of the stakeholders of Indian cricket, which is the population of India, because our population is so large, must ask the team and the team management. We must raise these questions, is what I feel. Why do you think the Indian team, which is such a great team, which has such great players, and our country in general has such great talent, out of them, the ones who work so hard, make it to the top 11 of the nation, ultimately are not able to cross the line in big tournaments? It's been happening for 10 years now. 2013 Champions Trophy is the last trophy that we have, ICC trophy. Thereafter, we've made it to almost every semis or the finals. We've made it to the knockouts of almost every tournament. But we've not been able to cross the line. And in fact, 2017 onwards, if we see the Champions Trophy final that we lost to Pakistan, every time we've tended to panic in those big games, those big matches. And all players have performed way below their potentials. That is what is so painful to see, because they've operated way below their potential. Somewhere they tend to panic in such crunch situations and we lose the matches one-sided. I'm not going into each match in detail, it will take a very long time, but you can look it up. Since 2017 we've lost all matches one-sided. We've not even been able to give a fight. Talking of the World Test Championship final, which got over yesterday itself, honestly, we were never in the game. We were in the game for the initial few hours, because when Captain Rohit Sharma opted to bowl, it seemed as if there was some assistance for the fast bowlers, which is why he opted to bowl, and we got 3 wickets within 80 runs or so. But what happened after that? We saw a massive partnership between Steve Smith and Travis Head, and when they ended at 327 for 3, each one of us knew that India is not going to win this World Test Championship final. Yet again we've panicked, we've made some wrong decisions, and it can only be the best possible chance for India can only be a draw, in which you can be announced as the joint winners along with Australia. But there's no way you can win the match from there unless some magic happens, and you never know, it's cricket. But you really needed miracles, not one miracle but a series of miracles to be able to win from there. Now coming to the crucial question, that why is it so? Why do such things happen with India in big matches, in crunch situations? I think the first reason is that the Indian team management has been making some wrong decisions. Somewhere they tend to read the conditions wrong. They tend to play a playing 11 which is not the obvious playing 11. All fans tend to understand that if the pitch is like this is the 11 that should play. But they play a completely different 11 every time. I just don't get it. Why they do this? Taking you back to the 2021 World Test Championship final, which we had against New Zealand. There also the Indian team announced the playing 11 a day prior to the final, and which I could not understand why they did, because it was raining heavily every day, and because it was raining, it was quite clear that there would be some seam movement, there would be swing, and therefore playing 4 fast bowlers and 1 spinner would be the ideal thing to do. But because they announced the 11 a day prior to the test match, they announced that Ravichandran Ashwin and Jadeja, both the spinners, would play and just 3 fast bowlers would play. While we had the option of Mohammad Siraj, who is a genuine swing bowler, who would have gotten a lot of benefit from the surface, but they did not opt to play him. I'm not saying that had he played we would have won, because ultimately it is the batters and bowlers who have to together perform. So maybe we would have lost even if he had played, but we could have competed better than what we did, is what I feel, because that is not the ideal 11 which played. And just the opposite happened this time. When we expected some bit of spin in the latter part of the game, most people suggested that there would be some bit of spin on this surface, and we saw later on what Nathan Lyon did for Australia. He was very effective in the second innings. Why didn't we play Ravichandran Ashwin, who is number 1 on the rankings? I fail to understand. This is the match where we probably could have avoided playing Umesh Yadav and played Ravichandran Ashwin in his place. No disrespect to Umesh Yadav, but that would have made the ideal 11. We did not do that. Australia had so many left-handers, and this is the same team management that talked of matchups so much last year. So you did expect that they would want to play the right arm off spinner against the left-handed batters, but they didn't do that. I fail to understand why. Then, when the match got completed and we were down and out, we lost big time. The captain, Indian captain Rohit Sharma, says that ideally we would have preferred a 3-match series for the World Test Championship final, since it's played over a period of 2 years and you play well for 2 years, then just one-off match can go either ways. I am very sorry, but I do not understand what logic is this. In any sport, do you see more than one final being played? Does it happen in football? Does it happen in hockey? Does it happen in Olympics? Does it happen anywhere? And it is a test match. It's not a T20 match that it's a gamble. It's a test match which tests you for 5 days. So if you play well for most of the sessions, in those 15 sessions that you have in the 5 days, you can win regardless of how you start. So I completely fail to understand this logic of if we had a series, we could have performed better. And honestly, even if we got a 3-match series, do we really think that the Australian team is so weak that they would let us beat them 2-1 even after being down 1-0? Maybe we could have, but that is not how the game works. There are rules set for the tournament that you agree upon and then participate in a tournament. So after losing, these excuses I don't think are going to work. The next point I feel, and this is something that a lot of you will not like, I've faced a lot of criticism for this when I used to work for a newspaper last year. When I had written about this, there was a troll army that ran behind me. There were messages I received, there were tweets not only criticizing me but abusing me. There were messages on Instagram that I still have, and I know what all happened, how these troll armies work. Because somewhere there's this idea of idol worship, of hero worship for the Indian cricketers, where you feel that Virat Kohli is the best ever and he can never be replaced, he can never be dropped. Definitely he may be the best ever, there is no doubting the fact, but has he been performing at his optimum in these big matches? Same goes for Rohit Sharma. Same goes for Jasprit Bumrah. Same goes for everybody. It's not just about Virat Kohli. But the fact that we become so narrow-minded in this idea of idol worship that we just cannot tolerate any criticism, any questioning, that is dangerous, is what I feel. And this has been going on in our country for some time, Whoever we like, in any field, we are just not open to any kind of criticism or questioning. This is a dangerous trend. We are human beings. They too are human beings. Everybody has pluses and minuses. And because they are public figures, they are bound to face criticism. We are the stakeholders. We have the right to question them. We have the right to scrutinize the performances. What is wrong in that? And when these fans tend to say that if Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are out, then we cannot win the match anymore. They are the only ones who can win us the match. We are undermining the rest of the players. And we've been doing this for a while, We feel that the big players are all that we have. The others are not even worth. Why? All the 11 players are the best 11 in the country. So why do we feel so? We have to empower each player. We have to encourage each player. They have the potential. That is why they are there in the team. So this belief that if this player goes away from this format, we just cannot compete in this format with any other side. I am sorry. This is a country of such a huge population, we will find somebody or the other. They may not be better than the previous one, but they will learn. Look at England, look at any other side, This is how sport works. We have to move forward. We have to keep advancing. When we look at how Australia played in this WTC final, what did they do? They have 2 big match players. We know that it is Marnus Labuschagne and Steve Smith, who are the biggest stars. And of course, the Australian public too expected the most out of them. Steve Smith definitely did deliver. He scored 100 in the first innings. Marnus Labuschagne, on the other hand, did not score big. He played a lot of deliveries in the second innings. He played out those deliveries, but he did not score big. Who scored? It was Travis Head. Did any of us expect him to score big? No, because we always believe that it's just the big players, the big names that matter. But it is not so. Similarly, we need to back our players in India as well. We need to infuse them with the belief that you too are a star. You too can win us matches. I think that is what MS Dhoni did very well. He used to instill this sense of belief in every player, and this is what we saw for the Chennai Super Kings in this IPL. Players like Ajinkya Rahane, who were considered to be discarded in this format, turned out to be match winners. And I think among the last 2 points, one big point is that somewhere, this idol worship that I'm talking of, the fact that The team cannot do without the big names, and certain names are so big that they cannot be dropped, they cannot be replaced. Of course, replacing may take time. We've still not found the ideal replacements for MS Dhoni in white ball cricket, for Yuvraj Singh. I agree. But we have moved on and we are trying to build a team post them. Similarly, I think it all comes down to the selection committee. The chief selector of the BCCI is the one who selects the squads for a World Cup, for any series. And if the selectors are not people of stature, are not people of courage, are not people who are well respected among the audiences, they will not have the guts, courage to make those calls. And this is not coming out of a sense of disrespect for the selectors. The selectors may be very good at what they are doing. They too have been performers for the Indian sides in the past. But the fact is that are they the top performers? Are they the big names like Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar, Rahul Dravid, or any other players you could imagine, who were the top, who were the big names in their generation? Do they become selectors? No, they do not even apply. Why? Because the annual salary of the BCCI selector is 1 crore, which is very less compared to what an Indian coach gets. I believe Rahul Dravid gets around 7 crores. Ravi Shastri used to get around 9 crores. I may be wrong, but I'm sure that 7 crores is the minimum that the coaches have been getting for the last few years. So if the salary slab of selectors is increased, that will truly incentivize it. And we will see players of stature applying, who will not worry, who will not fear taking those big steps, those calls, as to dropping big names, as to replacing big names. It may not look good to a lot of fans. Fans may be very angry. But we have to do what we have to do to win World Cups, to win those trophies. I'm sorry, it is not out of any disrespect for the present players. But it is out of a sense that in a country of such a large population and a large population of cricket players, it is not possible that we don't have specialists for every format, the best for every format. Because somewhere we are just overlooking performance. We are building our teams on the basis of reputation. The ones who have been doing well, who have records, who have centuries, they are the ones we are just looking towards because they have that luster. They have those brand deals. They have those fan clubs. But these things do not win you World Cups. What wins you World Cups? It is maintaining your calm at those crucial junctures in the big matches, which unfortunately this team hasn't been able to do. And it's not about Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid. It's not also about Virat Kohli, Ravi Shastri, because all during their tenures, we've seen the same thing getting repeated again and again, and it's become a pattern now. It's very easy for the captain and coach to come out and say that we would have liked to have a few more days to practice, to get used to the conditions. But the very few days that you get to practice, do you practice every day? Then why do you call it optional practice sessions? Why is it that you have the option of going to practice or not? I don't understand. I completely fail to understand because this didn't happen earlier. These are all new trends and we all are professionals. We work. All of you must be working somewhere. Do you get this opportunity that a big event is coming or a product launch is coming? So while you're preparing for that, are you told by your seniors that it's okay, it's optional to prepare for this. If you are confident, you can just come on the final day and just perform, just do it the way you want to. You don't need to prepare if you're confident. Do you get those opportunities? I don't think anybody does. Nothing can replace practice. Nothing can replace preparation. So these optional practice sessions, had they been helping, nobody would have questioned it. But I don't understand how can preparation and practice be optional? If you want to win big tournaments, the accountability has to be fixed. Just saying that these were 45 bad minutes of cricket, 30 bad minutes of cricket for which we lost. We played well over the course of 2 years, over the course of the entire tournament, which is true, they did. But ultimately what matters? Did you get the trophy home or not? And I don't think anybody would be more disappointed, more sad than the players themselves, because they are the ones on field, they are the ones suffering the defeat. We as fans do feel bad, but they must be feeling it so many times over. So why invite that suffering again and again by following the same pattern? Break through the pattern. And it may be easy for me as an outsider to say. For them, they may not be able to see it. But I think it is our responsibility, it is our right to question. It is our right to point out because we are the stakeholders. I think this is where I'll stop today. And thank you very much for watching. Please do comment even if you disagree. But please be civil in your comments. because I've seen a lot of uncivilized comments and messages in the past. Please feel free to agree, disagree, completely disagree, because ultimately all of you and I want the same goal, which is for India to lift a World Cup, to lift ICC trophies, to break through this pattern and be able to finally win. That joy is what we all want to savor. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.